Coming back from your.
Yeah.
17. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order. We do have a certification of a quorum. This time, I'd like for everybody to present a pledge and allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas one indivisible. Dear God, thank you for bringing us together for this meeting. We ask your presence to be with us as we discuss and make decisions. Grant us wisdom, clarity, and a spirit of unity, and may our time together be productive and faithful, honoring you in all that we do. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
This time, we're going to go into item number 4, a public hearing. Number 1, public hearing for consider the abandonment of a municipal drainage and utility easement located at 1205 Frank Stubbs Drive, El Campo, Texas, 77, should be 437. Yeah, 437, so tax ID 63002. Legal description is the Mizell Industrial Complex, Unit H, Lot 2, Silver Streak, Bass. And that was open and now it is closed. Now we're moving into item number 2, public hearing to consider the abandonment of a municipal drainage and utility easement located at 0 Frank Stubbs Drive, El Campo, Texas, 77437. Tax ID 63003. Legal description, Mizell Industry Complex, Unit H, Lot 3A. That public hearing is closed. Moving on to item number 5, under public comments. I believe we have speakers here. We're ask Miss Jane Smith. Yes, if you could come up to the podium, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello again. Thank you.
Good evening.
My name is Jane Smith. It's for real. I was born and raised here. Just a couple of blocks over there is where I was born. I'm here today to talk to you about a law that was in effect in Texas. It's called the Safe Haven Law. It's where a mother who wants to abandon her child or surrender her child can take the baby, the physical baby, and hand it to a physical person. Hospital, police, fire station. What I'm involved with and what I'm campaigning about is that's in Texas. Not all the states have it, believe it or not. That's a legislative law. This lady that started this Safe Haven baby box thing, it was in 2015. She developed a Safe Haven baby box, a real one. It goes into a building somewhere in a city that is manned 24/7. It opens up to the front, as you can see on the brochure, where a mother, a surrender mother we call them, can take that baby, open the box. There's a pamphlet in there for her, gives her a lot of information, especially counseling if she needs it. She can take that baby, newborn baby, and place it in the box and walk off. No questions asked, no shame, nobody hollering at her, nothing. She can walk off. And I think the baby, I'm kind of new at this, but I think the baby has to be like 6, I don't know, there's an age limit, but we're not gonna turn a baby away. But anyway, I'm gonna play like it's at a police station, because the one I went to in Abilene was a fire station. And, it was actually in Abilene, Texas. The difference between the safe haven law is you have to physically be touching the baby to hand it to a fireman. This way, you do not. You walk away, you do not have to give your name, you do not have any responsibility, no money is involved, nothing. And she walks away, in about 2 minutes, an alarm goes off. It's, the box is air-conditioned, heated, it has a camera in it. Anybody has 911 that takes care of that kind of stuff can see the baby. It's equipped to do anything to take care of a baby. Less than 5 minutes later, there is someone that's going to be opening that box to get that baby out, call the EMS or take it to the EMS or get it to a hospital. It's an extension of the safe haven law. There are a lot of young girls that don't even know they're pregnant. This would be good for them. And it also keeps babies from just being abandoned in I hate to say the word dumpster, but y'all have heard of this before. Y'all know what that's like, and you've heard of it. I was actually in Abilene the other day, about 6 weeks ago.
Would it be okay to request an extension for her, or is that not okay?
Thank you. The reason I'm so adamant about this, not just saving one baby at a time, and that's the way we look at it. It was started in Indiana in 2015. I knew that there was going to be a dedication in Abilene, because they do this big ribbon cutting and everything, and people who pay for it can be announced, and they can have their name on the box and on the wall and all that stuff. But I went to Abilene to see my grandson play ball, so I asked my daughter if she'd drive me by this safe haven baby box fire station. I drove up, she drove up, and we got out, and there was a fireman walking toward me. There was 2 men there. And he just hollered at me, and he said, "What are you doing here? How did you know to come right now?" And I was a little scared, and I said, I just want to see the place where this baby was laid, because it wasn't there but 17 days. It was ready to go, and a mother surrendered her baby in this box. 17 days, Abilene. Had it ready to go in 17. Then, and 17 days later, they got a baby. And he said, "Well, guess what? We're fixing to do our weekly simulation." He said, "Come on over here." So I went to a little kind of a cubby hole type thing. You couldn't see it from the road, but you knew the sign was there. And he opened the box, and I got to look in. I didn't touch it, but Ginger and I got to look in. And he said, "Wait a minute, be quiet." So he counted down 20 seconds, and the alarm went off. That was his simulation. He said, "Now, wait a minute." So he shuts the door, just like a mother would. The orange packet that's in there for the mother was in there. So then we go right around the corner into a supply room, electric stuff everywhere, and we saw the backside of the box that the fireman would see, or the EMS person would see. And he said, "This is the way it works. We open the box, we take the bassinet, which is a certified hospital expensive bassinet, out. We take the baby out. EMS is already here because it's a 911 call, and we get the baby to the hospital immediately. No sign of the mother. She doesn't have to stay. She doesn't have to answer questions. She doesn't have to put her baby in a plastic bag and throw it in a dumpster. But anyway, all of the information that you will need to get one in El Campo is right in front of you.
Thank you.
I am not going to say it, but I'm going to say it. I think I already have the funding. Not going to say it, though. It's $25,000 to $27,000 for a baby box from beginning to end. And there's little fees, not little fees. There's fees like $600 a year for someone to come inspect it once a year. That's an ongoing cost. There's signs that we want at every 71 and 59, not on the freeway, in town, once we find a location and y'all certify the location and allow us to do it, we'll put it on the signs, but the signs is not included in that 25, 26, 27,000. It kind of depends. And it's that kind of a range because a lot of this work, the installation, the electrical, there's a camera got to be installed, all kinds of alarms. They are a lot of times just donated, which my sister Judy and I can help make that happen. My sister and I are twins, and we started about a year ago trying to educate ourselves, which there's a lot of this. This is a 5013C, is that it? A nonprofit group out of Indiana. All the money, I will never touch a copper penny. You will never touch a copper penny. It goes straight to Indiana, and it's earmarked for El Campo. And I'm just ugly enough. I want it here in El Campo. I don't want it in Wharton.
Okay.
I want us to have the first one in the county, and then our next step is going to be going to probably Matagorda County.
Thank you.
Because we know a few people there. But Judy and I are determined, and I think $25,000, $26,000, $27,000. A newborn baby with lots of times the birth stuff is still connected, crying, needing a mother and daddy. These babies are put in the system for adoption, and it not only saves that baby's life, but it gives two adults a mother and a daddy, a baby that maybe they couldn't have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Appreciate it.
Great idea.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Okay. Next, I'd like to ask Ms. Luann Kelman to come to the podium, please. Evening.
I'm going to talk fast, and what I'm talking about is not nearly as important as what this lady was talking about, and I think her sister Judy Petter is one of the finest people I have ever known. Anyway, my name is Luann Kelman, and I live on Pecan Street. I'm here tonight to discuss a proposal by American Electric Power, or AEP, to build a new overhead power line beginning near my driveway and running down the front yards of the homes along Pecan Street. This proposal is related to the school district's current expansion project. The high school needs to move the large power line that currently runs along the east side of the parking lot so they can expand their facilities. I want to be clear about something right at the beginning. The residents of our neighborhood support the school district's improvement project. The school is investing nearly $100 million in expanding its facilities, and that is a good thing for our community. But the way the power line relocation is being proposed is simply not reasonable. AEP plans to build a large overhead line in the front yards of the homes along Pecan Street, and that route is not necessary. There is already existing electrical infrastructure running down Norris Street, behind the administration building, along the west side of the parking lot, and across the south side of the football field. Most of the school's power is already distributed underground from the lines into the buildings. In other words, the solution already exists on school property. Instead of using that infrastructure, the current proposal would permanently place a large overhead power line in the middle of a residential neighborhood. And the reality is this: utilities like AEP do not have much incentive to minimize minimize construction costs. Under state regulations, the more infrastructure they build, the larger asset base on which they are allowed to earn their profits. Those costs are ultimately passed on to the ratepayers. So the cheapest and most sensible route for the community may not always be the one that gets chosen. That is where the city must step in. While the city may not have the legal authority to completely block this project, it absolutely has the ability and the responsibility to advocate for solutions that respect our neighborhoods. Cities all over the country are moving toward underground utilities because they are more reliable during storms, and because communities simply do not want new overhead infrastructure cutting through residential areas. The central point here is simple. A large power line through our front yards is unnecessary. There's a better route, and it deserves serious consideration. I hope the council will encourage AEP and the school district to revisit this decision and work toward a solution that serves the school while also protecting the characters of our neighborhood. And I also hope the city will begin a serious conversation about updating and renegotiating our long-standing utility agreements so that future infrastructure planning reflects modern standards. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Coleman. This time, we got Dustin. To the first podium, please.
Hello, my name is Dustin. I live in Wharton, Texas. I would like to talk about maybe have y'all pull up the agenda or make an agenda for the trash contract that believe is going out this year to maybe get some bids out. Because I did hear a rumor. I don't believe it. But I would love to at least the trash truck to come, like the trash can actually come pick up the tree lemons like they used to do. Because I know they don't do that now, but I think they have the trucks for it, but they just don't want to bring it to Old Campo, I believe. So I would strongly encourage y'all to at least try to put that in, or maybe try to get a better price, or over the years get a better increase thing instead of the 3%, I believe, or something like that. Also, I was notified by a subscriber about a video that was on the People Global News. And he called out the El Campo Police Department on a arrest. I don't know everything yet, just got some open records the other day. But what I heard from him is police went to a disturbance of loud music, and the officer knocked on the door. Didn't get no answer at first. Woman came through the front door. The man came through the side. I believe it was late, maybe 1 o'clock or somewhere like that. The officer told him, turn off the music. The wife said, sure, I'll turn off the music. The husband said, I can turn it down if that's what you're asking, but I'm not going to turn it off, which I think it was pretty reasonable at that point, maybe. At least turn it down that nobody can hear it and the neighbors can hear it. That's reasonable. So going back and forth didn't really turn out too good. So cop said, give me your ID. At that point, he should have been detained. If you're going to be a police officer and still come out acting like a thug, might as well do it from the get-go. You might as well detain him as soon as you said you want his ID. Don't let him walk all the way back in his backyard. You don't know what's back there. He could be dangerous or have some weapons back there. The officer should arrest him or at least detain him at that point. They walked back. The wife turned off the loud music. There was a small speaker on the projector, and that was still on. Didn't sound too loud, but went back and forth and arrested him. And also, while they went to the front, they were arguing, the woman almost got arrested. But I guess the son talked to him and released the woman. So you should check into that, because they might come with a lawsuit, and we don't need that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Public comments. Moving on to item number 6, the consent agenda.
Mayor, I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We got a motion, a second, to approve the consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to item number 7, consideration of and action on. Item number 1, ordinance 2026 -06, abandoning portions of public utility easements, being a portion of a 10-foot wide drainage and utility easement situated along the south line of Lot 2, the Mizell Industrial Complex, Unit 1, and A portion of a 10-foot wide damage drainage and utility easement situated along the north line of Lot 3A, the replat of Lot 3 and 4, Mizell Industrial Complex, Unity 2. Both subdivision in the city of El Campo, Wharton County, Texas, as per plat thereof, recorded in slide number 135A in the plat cabinet records of Wharton County, Texas.
Oh. So this is in the Mizell Industrial Park, and there's been a request to take two parcels and plat it into one for the purpose of development. And the way that I understand it, Crystal, correct me if I'm misrepresenting this, but when these lots were designed, there were easements all around them. And this easement is not needed for utilities because the lines are running either in front or behind them or on the side, but not down the middle when they connect the two together. We will no longer need that easement. I think Council Member, or Mayor Pro Tem Blake Barger might have a question regarding this.
No, when the. Correct, yeah. So the Mizell Industrial District, when it was originally platted, each piece of property in there had an entire perimeter utility easement. And so when we take the two pieces out from the two lots, it will still have the larger perimeter. But this will allow them to replat that one piece, and then the building will end up using that full two pieces combined into one.
Mayor, I move to approve ordinance 2026-06 as presented.
Second.
We got a motion and a second on the floor to approve Resolution Ordinance 2026-06. No?
Yep.
Yes, okay. There it is. All right, as presented. All in favor? Motion passes, thank you. Item number 2, Resolution R 2026-12, adopting the Parks, Trails, Green Space, and Facilities Master Plan 2026 through 2031, authorizing the filing of said master plan with the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department in Austin, Texas, and establishing an effective date.
Good evening. This particular plan is the same plan that you guys adopted previously. What I've done is I've converted it to the standard format that the comprehensive plan that you will see at your next meeting will look like. We've also updated a couple data points, and we have added additional pictures in. None of the goals have changed or any of the major details otherwise, but trying to get it formatted so that it will match all of our documentation that we are going to start rolling out this year. And then also we added in the map with our walking trails, which is a requirement for our Scenic City designation, which is how we fund some of the Keep El Campo Beautiful projects, such as the free trees. We've received over 200 trees from Scenic City, and so we find this designation of Scenic City to be pretty valuable to us. And so one of those requirements is having the walking trails in this plan, and when we adopted it a couple years ago, for some reason we took it out, and so I've added that back in with part of that reformatting. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Mayor? I make a motion that we approve Resolution R 2026-12 as presented.
I'll second.
We got a motion and a second on the floor to approve Resolution R 2026-12 as presented.
I'd like to discuss it.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if it needs to be included in this plan, or this plan ought to be modified at some time in the future. But I have thought for a long time that we ought to try to work out some sort of a cooperative agreement to include the big piece of land that the school system has along Pecan Street and Meadow Lane that all the kids use for practicing baseball and football and all kinds of stuff. People have their dogs out there, they hit golf balls out there. I think it would be nice if we could come up with some kind of a long-term agreement with the school system to maybe apply for some grants from Parks and Wildlife or the LCRA or somebody that we normally apply for grants from to gradually improve that space and make it more useful to all those people. I mean, I live right across from that corner.
Sure.
And the number of kids that are out there and adults that are out there all the time is tremendous, I think. And I just think we ought to investigate or give some thought to improving the area and making it a long-term designated goal.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Hancock, thank you for that. That is a good point. There is a lot of people out there, and it gets used a lot, so it's something I think we can look into and see what we can come up with. So,
We don't have to do anything drastic around it. We could start off by maybe get a grant to plant some trees around it or something,
Sure.
you know?
all right. We had a motion and a second. All in favor? Motion passes. Moving on to item number 3, Resolution R 2026-14, authorizing a temporary closure of a portion of Tegner Street on Sundays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the request of St. Robert's Bellarmine Church.
Yeah, St. Roberts had previously approached the city about closing that road on Sundays during services. It is my understanding that children traverse the road, and this is for their protection along that street. They put out cones, their own cones. They asked permission to do that a few years ago, and the traffic committee, which consists of myself, Chief Margarell, and Kevin Thompson, agreed to that request at the time. But we got a complaint about this a few weeks ago, specifically about blocking the road. There are 2 residents on that road. Neither of them complained. We have not heard anything from the residents, but the complainant asked that St. Roberts pick up the cones behind them. But from what I understand in talking to St. Roberts, that's not possible because there's constant traffic back and forth. And so it would be constantly putting the cones out and constantly, it would not meet the mission of not having it closed. Previously, we've taken 2 other churches' request to council to make that decision, and that is why it's in front of you today. In 2011, you received a similar request from St. Philip's. It says Episcopal, I'm so sorry, Catholic Church. I know better, my daughter went to school there. Catholic Church, and you did, it was a unanimous vote to allow that road closure. As you're well aware, St. Philip's closes that road using barricades while school's in session. And then you also received one in 2016 from the Baptist Church, and it closes, that closes that section of the road. Those are a little different in that there's not residents, it's all church's property in both cases. So this one is a little nuanced, but we thought council needs to make the consideration and pass via resolution for that temporary closure. Again, this is only 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sundays when the church is in service.
That's the street that goes in front of the church.
It's Tegner, yes.
Mm, on their side.
It's not on the
front,
side,
yeah.
not, is that Fifth Street?
It is.
That's just-
You're here. Did I misrepresent anything? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The reason for the request is, we do have services, starting at 7, but, one of our main traffic for crossing the street is we have faith formation. We have parents, adults that are giving the faith formation classes, and so their children, go to a
Because you have
daycare.
facilities on both sides of the
Yes.
street.
Correct,
Yes.
yeah, that's
So
what they're doing.
We don't block, well, we technically don't block the whole street, only that pathway, but there is lack of access going all the way across. The 2 residents she spoke of are on one side where they have access to get in and out of their residence. Their residents are not blocked on that corner block.
I do have a observation and a question, if I may, while we're bringing this up. Ma'am?
It is in your district.
No, yes, it is. So the observation is that, yes, Sunday mornings, I'm traveling through
Let's
Fifth.
see, yeah.
house that they're getting to. No, well,
Yes, yes.
it's right there. They close the road off between that house, nearest the parking lot, right there. They put the cones across that way.
Okay.
The house is now the daycare center that she was circling.
Yes.
Yes,
What about 503?
no, yes. The two houses to the left are single families. We don't block their area as far as getting out of their drives. And we just have a cone that's, so that people can still park in front of the church, but we have a cones wide enough for the parent and child to walk across the street back and forth. And this is going on from after 8 o'clock till 2 o'clock when they go and pick them up.
If the people in the house, I guess 503 you said, if they want out of their driveway, they can get out of their driveway.
Yes, they have access, because we don't block the ends, we just block the crosswalk.
So back to the nation, I travel through there every Sunday morning going to church as well. And it's very busy. However, that doesn't take care of I'm assuming that the parking across Fifth Street is a different type of, I mean, they park there to attend church, but what you're saying is across Tegner, there's more coming across that area?
Yes, yes. The parking lot directly across the church fills up a lot quicker than the other parking lot across Fifth Street. And then and that was another reason that the city put up the four-way stops sign for that purpose of controlling traffic, crossing from that parking lot on the right side of Fifth Street, going to the church.
We also installed a crosswalk. Is that correct?
Yes,
There.
there's two.
So there is a crosswalk, and
Crosswalks there.
the complainant said, why can't they just use the crosswalk? And when I mentioned that to the church, it's a bit further down. It's almost half a block over. Sure. So they'd have to come out. It's not near that daycare. It's further down, and so, but the complainant said that blocking that whole road off, she can't back out enough if she's towing something behind her. So that was where her issue was she can't get around it.
Back out from where?
Back out if she's cutting through. That's a shortcut for her. Yeah, because the cones just cross the street right there. She's not here tonight, so I thought I would, and I'm not taking a position, St. Roberts. Obviously, we're here tonight for them to make that consideration.
Did I hear you say
Yeah, a trailer behind her. There's not enough room, evidently, and so she.
I think her concern, if I may speak, is that when she turns onto Tegner and realizes the cones are there, then she has to back out, and if she's towing a trailer or whatever she may be towing, it's a little bit more difficult to back up or maneuver.
Correct.
So
Thank you.
signs are posted that the she now knows that she can't pull in there and she doesn't need to, but she'll have problems backing out.
Right. If we had signs posted, we have the cones which are not visible, I guess, at the turn.
Yeah, that's the problem for her.
Mayor, I'll make a motion, we agree to the resolution to close the street during church hours.
well, the specified hours, right?
Yes, according to the
As
resolution.
presented, yes.
I second that motion.
We got a motion and a second.
I mean, if that's the true complaint.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve Resolution R 2026-14 as presented with signage to be put up. Oh, that wasn't part of the motion, that's right. So anyway, but yes, Resolution R 2026-14 approved as presented. There was a motion. All in favor?
Thank you, Adrian.
All right.
Thank you for your consideration. Thank you very much on behalf of St. Robert's.
Okay, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Okay, moving on to item number 4, Resolution R 26-15, authorizing the submission of an Operation Lone Star grant application and authorizing the city manager to be the official representative in all matters pertaining to the city's participation in the Operation Lone Star Grant Program.
Guess we're gonna have a grant application on every council, meeting agenda.
That's a good
We've,
thing.
we've hit it the last two. Chief, if you'll.
If you will indulge me, I do want to publicly thank St. Roberts because that particular area there, we had a crime issue a while back and they worked with us. And I think they purchased that building. I got involved in it and we'd had some issues with tenancy, et cetera. And it's been wonderful since they've purchased it. We've had no crimes in the area. So I want to publicly thank them for working with us at the police department on that.
Thank you.
What we have for you today is Operation Lone Star Grant. We already have this grant and we're already using it for the Celebrite. Celebrite is a software program that allows us to download information off of cell phones, which is the big thing now in law enforcement. So many people, all of our evidence is coming off of these cell phones. A big issue with that is people think if they lock them, we can't get in them. Obviously, if we have the legal authority to get into them, we use this particular program. And what we're doing is thinking of the future. We already have it funded through 2027 under the current grants that we have already approved. So we're going out further, and we're looking to go from 2028 to 2032, another 5 years. And it also, what we do, we've learned is these prices keep going up all the time. So we get them to give us a bid and lock in for 5 years. So with this one, 5 years of our downloads would be downloads or unlocking is a little over $68,000. Well, it's $68,400, and this will give us the ability to continue that. Also in this area, it's continually evolving. So we've also built in. We're going to ask for some extra training. We have 2 of our people that are certified to be experts in this. They can testify. We're the only ones in the region outside the big cities that have the ability to do this. This is a regional type deal, so we do offer these services to other agencies, and we do get requests on a regular basis. And as long as we get funding, we're able to do that. Obviously, if we don't have this kind of funding, we'd only be using ours. One excellent thing about this is at the rate, it's about, since we have this, we're paying about $340-something per unlock or download. If we didn't have that and we don't have this in place, those are over $1,200 each. So we save a lot of money by buying this, basically a subscription to continue doing this. And again, this is coming up starting fiscal year 27.
Chief, does that work on home computers too?
No, there are some capabilities, but it's limited. And the reason is, to be honest with you, computers are easier. The cell phone technology, especially the iPhones and all that, they've built this stuff to where it's very difficult sometimes to get into them. There's a regional forensics institute out of Harris County that we can use that's funded through a different grant. So we use them if we have to get something on a home computer.
So, just to clarify, we buy the system and the service, but every download is $300 versus $1,200.
Technically, every unlock.
Okay.
We already pay each year a subscription. We've been doing that. That's in our budget.
Okay.
This is the extra. This is the expensive stuff that if a phone is locked and they don't want us in it and they refuse and we get a search warrant, this gives us that ability to get into that phone.
Okay. Something about doing that for outside agencies, other agencies. So are they paying that bill?
No, not as long as we get the grant, because that's part of the grant. It's a regional, we apply for it as a regional resource. So as long as the money's there in the grant and we're not having to pay city funds for it, then we do offer that service to outside agencies.
Appreciate it.
Any further questions? All right. Anyone like to make a motion on Resolution R 2026-15?
So moved.
Got a motion, a second, for the approval of Resolution R 2026-15 as presented. All in favor? Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item number 5, Resolution R 2026-16, approving a 4-year annual leak detection services totaling $135,750 with Samco Leak Detection Services Incorporated.
Everyone wanted a piece of this agenda. This item came out of finance, and it is an extension of our existing 4-year leak detection service. So this would, if approved, this would extend this through 4 more years, and we would budget for it accordingly. We already have it included in this year, and so we're asking for authorization for Samco to come in and look at our lines to help us with seeking our leaks. Just point of clarification, the last 3-year findings are in your packet. I've also included that on a regular update I send you. So we find that this service is absolutely worth the money because it has identified so many issues. We're requesting approval tonight.
So, just a question. So this is not to tell us that we have leaks, this is to actually pinpoint the leak. Is that correct?
Kind of does both, right, Brittany? It notifies us that there's a leak, and then it notifies us where.
Okay.
So we can go in and fix it.
All right. Mayor, I make a motion to approve Resolution R 2026-16 as presented.
I'll second.
We got a motion, a second, for the approval of Resolution R 2026-16 as presented. All in favor? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Item number 6, approval of CDC funding, site improvement grant for Project Gloss, which is floors, chrome shop, and truck parts, not to exceed $50,000.
Told you everyone wanted in tonight.
Mayor and council, I'm back. Domingo Flores bought TSI Tire, which is on the corner of 59 and Meadow. And he has plans to build east of that tire shop. Right now, his chrome shop is on Meadow Lane where Blessing Oil was. And he's wanting to move it there next to his tire. And at our, get to my notes here. At our February 23rd board meeting, the board unanimously approved a site improvement grant. He's expecting to spend almost $750,000 on this new building with equipment and everything. He has 3 full-time employees now and is planning to add 6. So that'll be from 3 to 9. Anything over $25,000, of course, requires y'all's approval, and so the board respectfully requests that.
You have clawbacks in case it doesn't come
Yes, sir. Well, he doesn't get the money till he has a certificate of occupancy.
till the building's up.
Yep. The grant is to be paid after the city issues a certificate of occupancy and receipt of all the invoices and proof of payment of those invoices. We require that on all our projects.
But it doesn't require that they employ the employees that they're.
It's not based on
On that?
employees, but that's part of the decision-making process. Yes, sir.
Do we look into what the projected hourly rate is for these employees or annual rate?
No, sir.
pay?
No, sir. I did not. But I can find out.
Mayor, after unanimous approval from the CDC board, I make a motion, we approve the CDC funding in the amount of not to exceed $50,000.
I'll second that.
We got a motion, a second, for the approval of CDC funding for a site improvement grant as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. I will get the answer to that and send it to Courtney so that she
It's
can.
always interesting to consider how much economic activity we're promoting.
It's written on his long application.
Okay, thank you.
Not included,
All
so
right.
I do have that.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, we will be going into closed session.
You have time to stay?
We'll see y'all at the
Thank you.
ballpark. Adrian Canal.
So you can go home.
Adrian Canal.
So have a good evening.
Sure.
Nothing will come of this. Have a good evening. Have a good evening, Judge. Is it just
Okay.
him?
All right, at 7:02, we are closing executive session. No action taken. Uh,
We go back into open session, thinking that this sounds like a very interesting thing to be doing. Could we ask Garrett to tell us just how it might work out at the Emergency Services Center and give us his thoughts on it?
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure will.
All right. We reconvened and didn't take any action. This meeting's adjourned.